Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children above ages, you are now tuned into the world's most dangerous podcast. I want all the smoke.
Smoke, 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 smoke.
This is episode 136 of The Smoke. And we are late because we decided to have a conversation as friends. Our friendship is more important than you motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck. But without any further ado, let's get into it.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Idol, aka T, aka Tinfoil Hat T, aka Big E. I only been there once, but they already call your man Mr. Vegas.
Na 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 na.
Kill him with nose.
AKA Titty Boy, because I love them titties, boy.
Listen, man, we on episode 136. You know what I'm saying? That means 136 weeks. I know motherfuckers that we are more dedicated to this podcast than most motherfuckers are dedicated to the kids. People in this chat not included in that. At the end of the day, we've been smacking pink peas, fake black peas, and all types of peas because we can't say pussy, so we just say peas. We've also been walking up and down the block during COVID with our masks on, telling motherfuckers put their masks on. What I want you to do is say, listen, I want you to take your love for them tatas, them titties, them tego bitties. I want you to put that down in your esophagus and put it down to your fucking diaphragm. And then I want you to sit up straight. I want you to say it with your chest, your stomach, the back of your neck, your navel, your elbow, and your kneecap for the for the niggas in the back.
AKA Titty Boy, because I love them titties, boy. AKA Money Making Mitch, AKA Trinitron Don, AKA Swing Low.
Hold up. Your radio
Sweet
edit.
Chariot.
There you
go. AKA chilling. Well, I don't know. I must have added this one. Chilling with cousin. Chilling with cousin Ray. and we straight out the Baca.
Yes.
AKA 2 years older, 2 years wiser. AKA Greasy E. AKA 4D. Bringing you that 4-cam dimension, a.k.a. Sugar Cube Drip, a.k.a. Where the Weed At, a.k.a. the nigga that bring the bottle.
Bring the bottle.
The nigga that lead a bottle, repping that smoke mine, state to the line, straight, run up and get done up.
Don't make me have to raise your son up.
Son up.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Black Juice, a.k.a. My AKAs is an AKA.
Yep.
AK.
Sorry, my AKAs is an AK.
Yes,
AK. Pull it back.
AKA the human cohiba.
Right.
AKA when there is smoke, there is fire.
Button the fire.
We camping, nigga. We killing campers like Jason Voorhees, nigga.
Oh, thank you. AKA the disgruntled gentleman. AKA champagne and bullets.
Pop.
Can you throw AKA semi? At the end, can you do AKA semi, the semi to your Arsenio or the semi to your Eddie?
AKA, maybe not this time, but definitely next time I will do your semi to the Eddie thing you asked me about. AKA, Swing Low.
Yeah.
Psych!
Oh.
Don't call me your nigga.
Like, is it just me, or does Thaddeus have a little Arsenio-esque about him?
Like, what do you mean? Because he's black?
Yeah, nigga, because he's black.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, he kind of looks like Arsenio. You know what I'm saying? Go like this right now, real quick. He got the long Arsenio fingers. Look at that middle finger. That's a long middle finger.
Yo, it's fucking crooked as fuck.
That middle finger.
My man's like, yo,
awkward.
put your fingers down. Why your fingers down?
Basketball. Look at that shit.
Good lord. Yo,
isn't that fucked?
You go like
that
this.
one foot. Yo, put that finger down, nigga. Like,
yo, this nigga.
They got kids walking
themselves sideways. Like he can with one hand.
They got niggas like walking again, like from spinal injuries, and you still got the fucking.
Your finger needs a polio shot, nigga. I don't know what. The
Does it hurt?
Nah,
it looks like it's still painful today.
No, it gets stuck though. Like it actually gets like.
Yeah, I actually got that with one of my fingers too because it's like double jointed. So it'll sometimes it'll be like.
They told me they could fix it, but they're like, we're gonna have to break it, and I was like,
I'm all right.
I think they put you to sleep for that, bro. They don't like make
No,
you sit there awake.
they told me no. They told me they'll give you like a little needle in it to like numb it out.
Little needle.
Is this in Canada, nigga?
Yeah, I honestly I went to this place because I actually popped my joint out of my thumb. Like,
oh damn.
It didn't break. Yeah, during basketball, it didn't break. I dislocated my joint. It came through the skin.
Ooh.
And it was like sticking out. So when I went and got that fixed, there was a lady that had like a finger like mine where it's like they had to break it to like put it back in place. Yeah. And I heard this lady scream so loud. I was like,
that shook you up.
Yeah, I was like, I never get my shit fixed.
I did that.
I want to know what she did to get the crook finger though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think hers was like she was like old, like I'm talking like 80s, 90s.
Oh, okay.
So hers might have been like arthritis or like some crazy shit, but like
I don't want to be so old where I go like this and my knuckles just pop out. Cause I got like if you look at my hands and the scars, like I got bad situation knuckles. Like when you always in a bad situation and you just have your knuckles with you. And I've broken my hands so many times and shit like that. I don't want to have that arthritis where I fucking go like this and it's like and my whole hand's out my fucking paper thin skin. I don't want that shit. I want to be sitting next to the African dude with the crooked middle finger screaming. That you tell a nigga to fuck himself sideways with one hand, nigga. I don't know how you do that shit. And it's your boy, the habitual line stepper, Willie Kamosi.
Murderer.
AKA the mayor.
Hear ye.
The ombudsman.
Town court is in session.
The town crier.
The redcoats are coming.
The authoritarian.
We love the government. I don't know shit. I don't know. When I think of authoritarian, I think of somebody who loves the government.
The wondering where the niggas going and. All right. With Illuminati, my mans, we live.
This nigga did not mute his mic and went and wrestled a dog and a kid.
Hey, listen, we gonna have to do some shit. You have to put a towel under your door. Nigga waiting to fucking listen, Dr. Doolittle. You just can't be like just jumping off, wrestling dogs like Otto said and handling kids.
I was trying to fix something real quick. I thought I could be slick about it.
Yeah. Hit mute on the mic next time, nigga. You trying to be slick.
Is your door closed, bro?
It is now, yeah.
I could hear the whole Swiss Family Robinson in your background, bro.
Yeah, it's yeah.
That's what it is, man. You got a fam.
Yo,
got a fam.
My man's just had despair. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it was despair.
It's like pure despair. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say anything bad about your family. I apologize. Illuminati Giuliani.
Woo, 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 woo.
Tell him where the truth is,
yeah.
The truth is in here. AKA.
Truth is out there.
I'm knocking off some doers. I'm looking for some hooers.
Horace here.
Oh, Will Hover's witness. That is
amen. Hallelujah.
That's so sacrilegious, bro.
Why?
I was thinking about that. Like, I just twisted that whole shit up. AKA, my mouth is a curse. My tongue is a blessing. If Shorty acts up, I'm teaching that ass that's on the wall a whole type of lessons. The silver tongue.
Rah.
AKA.
Beware of the ramsacks.
Yo, your rahs were really a little more.
I knew you were gonna say that.
That was a more...
I really knew that you were gonna say that.
I've been hearing your rahs for a good couple of years now. And those rahs were a little bit more.
No.
You put a little extra on your rah.
I put nothing on it.
Sassy just texted me and she's like, "I'll give you horse." So now I'm in trouble. Like she not even watching the podcast. She listening to the shit from outside the room. AKA the freak of all freaks. Yeah.
Wait. What was the song? Get down on it. Oh no.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh,
the ad-lib
super freaking yow. That's the bad. Yo, dude, say the line again.
AKA. I can't.
Do it.
Hold on, let me compose my shit.
AKA
the freak of all freaks.
He's super freaking yow.
Listen. I never knew it.
The way you went for yow.
I never knew it until now, but my life's goal was literally to have Idol do a Rick James impression that I could witness live. That's basically been my life's goal. Again, one more time, the freak of all freaks.
He's super freaking yow.
Oh, I'll bring the smoke in many flavors. Young Shisha. Harry Hookah. All right, before we get into anything, y'all see the ass on my wall. Y'all know what the ass is about in the wall. That was a birthday present. But my wife tried to get creative, and she tried to do titties too. And I've been holding on to this for a while, but I feel like I need to show the world this shit because this shit is frightening, okay? So I want to show y'all niggas something. And I want to let you know why that titties really aren't the shit unless they're contrasted by a body, okay? Let me show you what disembodied titties look like on paint. It's frightening. Hold on.
But for all the people who ain't gonna be able to see this, it almost has to be the
you.
They just look like googly eyes.
So, bro, I came home and I saw the ass picture. I was like, "Oh, that's dope. I'm gonna hang that up in the studio and da da da." This, that, and the third. And then I saw the titty picture. I was like, "Oh, who killed Elmo and took his eyes?" Like, because hey, you can't just like get titties on the thing. Like, she had to add the nipples and do everything like that.
Yeah.
And it just looked like the ghost of a Muppet, bro. And it's not a general, like, you know, representation of real titties and shit. It's the scariest. One more time. This is what nightmares are made of right here. You know what I'm saying? She gonna get mad because she gonna be like, "Oh, my titties are nightmares." Your titties aren't nightmares, babe. But this is what looks at me in my dreams. When you have like those what do they call them, dreams with sleep paralysis and shit?
Oh yeah, night terrors.
Yeah, this is what's staring at me dead in my face. Look at these big red eyes, bro. That's frightening. That's scary.
Yeah, they look like googly eyes or like eggs with red yolk.
Right? I want to do like giant googly eyes and put them in the middle and shake it around. Just be like, "Oh, I'm watching it." But yeah, that's that. In the vein, real quick, of Thaddeus's dinner, I want to ask y'all niggas. This is my esoteric question. I feel like we need to get this off the bat, off jump, front street. Flats or sticks? Well, with chicken wings, you like flats or sticks? What's the way to go?
Oh, you mean wings or drums?
See,
this nigga's like flats or sticks. This nigga's talking domino speak on wings.
You got the flats.
I know which piece. I know which piece is what.
You don't call I would call them flats?
No, man. I would argue that the flats actually has two sticks in it, but that's another thing.
But drumsticks, you can just take the sticks from it. Like that's
I get the drumsticks.
You don't understand flats? That's what I grew up.
We've never called them that, but yeah, no.
Flats, yeah. Oh, okay. What do you call
wings? I think I like flat.
Huh?
I think I like flats.
I actually don't mind flats. I'm just saying I ain't never called them flats.
Yeah, me neither. I'm
cool. There's different names to call them. The question at hand.
It's okay. Hey, every time I bring up some term or something and y'all ain't heard it, I gotta be fucking old and all this other shit, right?
Bro, nobody's.
Now you just felt it.
Nobody's
You're like flats.
Old, bro. No one's calling you old ass old. I'm just wondering, what is their preference? Do you like? Okay, so what do you call flats then?
Wings.
Okay, but they're all wings, bro.
Yeah.
I don't
y'all
get it.
niggas
I don't get the last bit. Okay, if they're all
so you guys are just like, I saw you. You had 7 flats and 6 sticks. You better not be taking an 8th flat. Like, I don't even know why you have to differentiate. The guy just eat wings.
What do you call it?
You don't have a preference? You don't like nobody else?
But they're all wings. Yeah.
Shit, I'm just playing. Yo, honestly, yo,
You're kind of an asshole. That's a wig.
I am not at all. Holy, that is an unfair characterization.
It's 100% accurate.
It isn't accurate at all.
Oh my god, the accuracy on that's it's Afghanistan snipers.
I will.
Movies made after them accurate.
I will say this: if I don't mind getting my hands dirty,
right?
If you pinch the one side of the flat and you could actually pull out one whole bone. And you're eating it as if it's a drumstick. So I like flats a little better sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
I like flats too. The drumstick has that one piece of gristle that kind of goes down the middle. But I like flats because I don't mind getting my hands dirty when I eat. I don't give a fuck.
You just cracking that shit open?
Like, gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you crack it open. Thaddeus, I don't know what, like, there's a huge disclaimer. There's a huge pause on this statement. Okay?
But if anybody out there could clip it right after his pause.
I don't know what's
disclaimer
up with Thaddeus's mouth game, and there's no way this nigga don't eat ass the way he keeps flats intact and strips the meat. Pause from the bone. Pause times 2. The way this nigga show you
the way Idol's in agreement.
You know what?
Yeah.
The problem is I will have to suffer the scrutiny of what is about to be said. But the nigga, you eat ass from the way you ate those wings. You were sucking.
I eat chicken.
No, yeah. That I don't. We didn't ask you what her nickname was. We just said the way you eat these flats, bro. It's clean and they're still intact. That's talent.
That is talent.
That's tongue maneuverability. Pause once again.
That is tongue maneuverability.
It is. I gotta just.
And then the way you just like toss that salad around in the bowl, nigga, you were made to do it. Yeah, you were made to do it.
Yo, you really like the way you said that though was real Jailhouse.
I already said I'm willing to suffer the scrutiny.
That was real
of the statements.
The way you tossed that salad in the bowl, like the way you said that shit.
Yo, I'm willing to suffer the scrutiny to expose certain truths.
Me personally, I eat chicken wings.
Yes.
I enjoyed a nice
chicken wing,
healthy salad on the side, and that's all it was. I ate a meal.
That's all you did.
That's it.
And there was nothing wrong with it.
You ate a meal. How was y'all's week?
My week was good. As y'all know, it was my birthday. I had a really good birthday. I got this beginner philosophy book that I was wanting. Kind of outlines like certain philosophical things. It's got some good shit. Got the lights for my upcoming thing. I got my computer ready.
Nice.
It was a good weekend, man. Drank way too much Ray and Neffy.
Ray and Neff. Cousin Ray.
Yeah.
Cousin Ray and Uncle Neff.
Yeah. Cousin Ray and Uncle Neffy definitely got killed off. But yeah, man, it was a good weekend. How about you guys?
I like the fact that he got another book so he could stun on us in regular conversation. So when I try to ask a question for conversation, which is like half joking, he can once again stunt on me.
How would I stunt?
You do it all the time to me.
Hey, listen. Just because it was your birthday and you got 2 years older and maybe 2 years wiser than the rest of us.
Exactly, nigga. I be like skipping grades.
That book was 2 years wiser on that. Shout out to Mr. Good Stuff. How you doing, gang? Thaddy, how was your weekend, man?
Shit, you know what? This weekend was whack, actually.
So Shorty,
teachings of the great
The basic.
J philosopher.
Nigga, can you read?
Yo, honestly, he put his finger out. No, yeah.
But I will say one thing that I already fucking learned, man. And I know I'm only like a couple chapters deep. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all off. What'd y'all do? And then I'll tell you. Tell me about your week.
I spent the week thinking about Idol's new book.
Man said his week was whack. He said I had a whack.
No, the weekend was whack, yo. It was raining. It was shitty.
It was shitty out there.
It was whack.
My weekend kind of sucked. I lost a very close friend.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
A good friend to cancer. I lost 2 friends this week to cancer. R.I.P. Chris Copeland. He was in the studio.
Oh shit!
I heard about Chris. Yeah, I heard about Chris.
R.I.P. Chris Copeland. You know what I'm saying? The Trini Wonder, the Pan Man, and R.I.P. OC. Omar Shane. I put his last name, but I think it's Shane. But he was one of Project Boulevard's biggest supporters. My man's was at every show. My man's had.
Hold on, get the fuck out of here. Omar died?
OC died, man. Cancer. He had his hair salon and stuff like that. I don't think he had it anymore. But
what the fuck? Yeah. Swear to God.
Nigga, why would I lie to you?
Nah, I know. I'm like, fuck, man.
Dead ass. OC died, fam.
Yo. That nigga younger than me.
Yeah, he was young. He was younger than all of us.
Yo, and he's one that he had a child that died. No.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, because he had a baby that died like 1 or 2 years old, and then he just had another baby. Like his child might only be like 5 years old now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But yo, man, that's why sometimes I don't know exactly what the connections are, as they always say, but that is one of the reasons, man, you got to really watch your health and shit like that. You can't be too proud to go into the doctor or anything like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes I even struggle with that. I'm okay. It ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Trying to shake it off, but you gotta get in there, man. You gotta be sure and take care of yourself and watch that processed food and all that shit. You know what I mean? I know that that's not like, oh, he must eat processed food. Like, I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying, man, certain things like that.
Shit isn't set up in these stores for us to stay alive for a long period of time.
No. So, and I just wanted to bring it back around to that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I agree 100%. Like when OC died, so Chris passed, OC passed, and Sassy's like, yo, we're switching the script. Like she like tossed out everything in the fucking house. We're eating. She's like, I'm only getting clean shit. So now it's just like nothing but vegetables and meat in the fridge. Me and Gabby are both depressed and hungry. But at the end of the day, we're gonna get used to it and be fit and happy and healthy. I'm up. And
to be, go on, no.
I was gonna say I'm waking up. I'm waking up like half hour to 45 minutes earlier than what I regularly would. So it's like 5 something in the morning, and I'm hitting the bike. I'm doing 100 push-ups, the 100 sit-ups, no matter how much it hurts me. You know what I'm saying? And myself that
good, man.
Limit and shit. Because at the end of the day, man, it kind of feels like we're losing a lot more people than what we should at this time. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was this movie I watched. It was Jack Nicholson and someone else, and he's like at the 70s or whatever like that, and he's starting to lose friends. Like he's starting to lose people he came up with, and he's going through this crisis and this thing about his own health and his own well-being and shit. And I'm like when you get to that age, that's when motherfuckers you came up with start passing away. You start losing a lot of people to quote unquote natural causes or cancer and shit like that. But 2020 and 2021 kind of seems like motherfuckers our age, late 30s, early 40s, are passing to diseases that is normally reserved for the older folks, I guess. And yeah, man, it's definitely put a jump start in us. So yeah, all right.
Yo, Willie. I'm on this nigga's Facebook right now, and he posted something today.
Well, someone posted something today.
He's dead.
I have somebody who died from cancer on my Facebook, and they must post videos all the time of past times. Do you know what I mean? Or is he posting like I'm in the club?
Yo, he posted this thing like this guy is stealing catalytic converter. It says March 26th.
March 26th.
Nigga, that's a month ago.
Nigga, it's fucking April fucking 20.
Oh, sorry. I thought it said April 26th.
Yo, that fucked this nigga's head up.
Yeah, nigga, that was like a month ago exactly to the day.
Yeah. But yo, man. So yeah, you gotta stick on that. I know. Sorry, you guys sound definitely shell shocked for sure, but you got to stick off that. And that was one of the things that I really thought of this weekend too, man. And you can even ask Shorty. I was like, yo, I really want to get on stuff. I really want to focus. Another year passes, and I'm just like, shit, man. You're starting to get. I had once read about how there were certain waves, and I really can't remember the ages, but there is like a late 30s, early 40s wave where it's like all the early people drop off. And then you have another one in like the 50s. Like if you survive like the mid 50s, then the next one is until the 70s. I don't know. It was a weird thing. I wish I had a little more information on that, but I guess there is waves of people with ages, right? Like it's an odd thing. It's an odd thing.
It's odd and it's morbid, bro. Like we're getting to that age where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we
it isn't completely off the fucking table.
No, and
when something happens, yeah.
Like, every so often you're gonna hear about a motherfucker that you came up with dying, and that's that's like a fact of life of where we're at now, and I don't like it.
No,
but I won't lie, that shit's fucking me up right now, man.
It is, man. I didn't even know you knew that, and I'm not even on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been on Facebook for a month. That's how I didn't know it was ISB Day, man. Another one. So, oh no, you were gonna say something, Ido, about something. The book.
No, I had said it. Oh yeah. I was gonna say, and this has nothing to do with that topic. So if you have other things to expand upon, you should just do that. I'll try to remember.
I don't want to talk about death no more because I got one more death we got to talk about. That's actually a topic for.
Oh, okay. I was actually reading, and I know that this is gonna sound kind of naive in a sense, but I was reading this book, and there was like there was a group of Greek philosophers called the atomists, and they're the ones who actually conceptualized the idea that we're all made up of atoms. I know that sounds fucked up, but do you know that they've never actually found an atom? I feel like this was almost taught to me like it was law, and this is a fucking philosophical idea only.
Well,
they've never actually.
I thought they found atoms and were smashing them and shit.
No, I think that's particles and photons. I don't think that's actual atoms. Atoms is like literally the stuff the entire universe is made of. So they haven't seen. I thought they seen like carbon atoms, and that's how they made the atom bomb is by isolating supposedly splitting them. I did some research, man, and it's like they have never actually found the atoms. It's crazy.
So the atoms is a theory.
Yeah.
Bruh,
Yo, so explain this though. Explain this though, because like the Hadron Collider or whatever. So if they're able to take protons and neutrons, so they're able to collect the things atoms are made out of, but they've never come across an atom. I always thought that an atom was the base.
Yeah, so did I. But
like that is like if it like everything that is like photons and neutrons would be made of atoms, would they not?
No, because an atom. Like
I don't think there's anything.
And it has a photon and a neutron rotating around it. No.
We should have researched this before we started.
Right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So an atom has a nucleus, and then it has electrons and neutrons that like rotate around the nucleus. And even furthermore than the inside of an electron and neutrons, those things are made out of things called quarks. So I'm surprised, like they know so much about like, and that's what is it nanotechnology?
Bro, this is oh my god!
But that's basically like the the study of the interior of an atom.
This is going on and on and on. Like, this is something I think we need to research for the next one. But just this statement is fucking me up right now. So, in 1808, chemist John Dalton developed a very persuasive argument that led to an amazing realization. Perhaps all matter, i.e. stuff, things, and object, is made of tiny little bits, fundamental bits, invisible bits, atom bits, aka atoms. The concept has been floating around off and on for a few millennia. Ancient cultures were certainly aware of the general idea that matter was composed of more fundamental elements, even though they disagreed quite a lot about what exactly counted as an element, and knew that these elements combined in interesting and fruitful ways to make complex things like chairs and beer. Weird. But through those millennia, the question persisted. If I isolated a single element and chopped it in half, then chopped those halves into half, and so on, would I eventually find the smallest possible bit of an element that I can no longer chop, or would it go on for infinity?
Yeah.
And I just read that. I'm like, and then
I'm reading some other stuff while they've never been visualized atoms, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when they say visualize, they don't have like an actual picture of it, but they do have like the math to kind of map it out to what it would look like, right?
I don't know.
Like you could Google image an atom and it will show you. It looks like basically it looks like.
I think that's artist rendition, because when I'm reading this here, it says atoms are so much smaller than the wavelength of visible light that the two don't really interact. To put it another way, atoms are invisible to light itself. However, atoms do have observable effects. So I don't think they've actually
like seen it with like an eye, like your eyeball, like on a microscope or nothing like that.
They've seen the effects of. See, that's the fucked up thing about science, to where a lot of science isn't studying the actual thing that you're studying. It's studying what you think the actual thing is affecting and using that data, right? So it's not even like they're studying atoms. They're studying what the effects of an atom is and taking that data. Science is weird. That's why I didn't do science. It had nothing to do with my intelligence.
But it's crazy because like if what you're saying is true, and I'm not disputing that at all. If they've never actually like seen visually, like had a visual on an atom, but they know that there is a nucleus, and then they know that there's a neutron that like circulates around it.
How do they know if they've never seen an atom? How do they know atoms have a nucleus? And then if atoms are the smallest, but then
there should be nothing smaller.
But
like they're literally supposed to be the elements of what everything's made of, even an electron. But what makes what's an electron made of?
Well, okay, so how does like the electron and the nucleus has to be smaller than the atom because that's the centerpiece of the atom, right?
But they've never seen it, so how do you even know that even is a thing? Yeah, like I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little more.
But I'm pretty sure. Like, and I'm gonna say this. The nucleus of an atom is made out of quarks.
And I'm gonna say this. I fucking read this in that philosophy book yesterday. So I'm not trying to come on here and say I know this. It just that shocked me because I've always been a lot of things that they kind of teach you are for sure aren't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really weird how that goes.
A lot of things that we thought were fact are theories. And just theories that make sense when you
they're supposed to be
weird. That's what's weird about fucking science, bro. Science.
Nuclei are supposed to be 10,000 times smaller than an atom. That's if they exist. I'm starting to be like, if they can't even see atoms, now you're just telling me theories. If you're telling me it's 10,000 times smaller, but that's besides the point. I'm going to do a little bit more reading on this, man. I was just surprised that was even a theory. Do you know what I mean? I had thought that was something provable at one point, like it's kind of like, I don't know, you just find out like certain things are still theory, and then I really think about it. I'm like,
is it really theory? Like, do you have to have a visual for you to know that something really exists?
We have to have some kind of proof, right?
Which I'm sure they do. Like they must have some type of testing, or like they can calculate the math to whatever. Same thing with like a black hole. It's not like you can like visually observe it, but they can.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're talking to the wrong nigga though, because I don't know if black holes exist.
And that's what I was saying about science. Like the same thing with black holes.
I don't know about that.
They only say that a black hole exists because they don't see a black hole. They see the effects of what they think is a black hole. That's the same thing with atoms, right? It's like you're not studying the atom. You're studying what the effects of what you think the atom does. And that's the same with black holes. When they see all the whatever, they're not actually studying the black hole. They're studying the effects of what they think the black hole is causing. And that's what trips me out about science. A lot of it is a theory of like, this effect is happening, this is my theory. Oh, now this theory is in existence, so I'm just gonna study this effect and say this. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's weird. It's
a little bit, but like for instance, like black holes, you can observe their characteristics without actually visually seeing it, right? Like, but because literally a black hole is
characteristic that's observing what the effects of a black hole is doing. You're not observing the characteristics of a black hole. You're observing how you think a black hole is affecting the immediate environment.
But that in my opinion is the definition of a characteristic, right?
I guess yeah.
But I do believe like for instance, like a star, you know, can't even use the word dissolves, but like.
But you do, okay, so the thing is you do realize that when they even talk about black holes, they talk about consensus, right? Mm-hmm. Like you don't think that they have this proven, like they've proven water is wet. Like there's a consensus. No. There's a consensus amongst the scientific community that black holes exist. Yeah. That doesn't mean they've even have observed what you think. They've seen something. They can't say definitively what it is, right? Well, no, like
true. But I think their observations are actually more concrete than like the theory of what they might report might be the conclusion of those observations are, right? Like, so they can observe that, hey, in this certain area, there's so much mass and gravity that even light cannot escape it. So that's a characteristic that I feel like is practically proven. Now, why that happens or what that is completely different, right?
Where was that proven?
Sorry, I don't have like a paper like.
Because they talk. No, I say that because they talk about black holes themselves being a consensus thing. The fact that they even exist is consensus amongst the scientific community. So you're not going to. So any observation that you have doesn't lead to concrete evidence, or it would be fact, not theory.
So what I'm saying. So for instance, let's say there's no concrete evidence that a black hole exists. But there is concrete evidence that where they believe a black hole exists, the characteristic of light not being able to escape that mass is fact. That one specific characteristic is a fact. Now, does that make a black hole a factual thing? I can't say that, but like there are certain characteristics, and that's where you end up getting these consensus, is because some of these characteristics can be considered factual, right?
So
agreed. So please show my shared screen for one quick second.
Oh, let me go over there then. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've tuned into I Want All the Antimatter.
Black matter and all that shit, even that's not real. Like they don't know that for sure. So this is what they're looking at, and this is a black hole. So the fact that we're seeing a light with a black in the center, you're telling me that they're getting any kind of real observation from, like, the fact niggas believe some of this shit, like they're looking at a dot, guy. Like they can't even get anywhere. And you say that they could all of a sudden.
But haven't they observed light bending into a center point?
Hold on, and when I say observe, I don't mean like visually with your eyes observe. I'm saying you could observe data that could reflect observation, right? It doesn't. I'm not saying like I've seen it with my own eyes or someone's seen it with their own eyes. I'm saying.
I'm saying this. They have to send up complex weather balloons to try to figure out the Earth's weather where they live, and you're telling me that they're extracting data galaxies away in black holes which supposedly swallow everything. I think it's a stretch, and I'm surprised that you just believe it so blindly. I get it. Yo, I'm
not saying I believe everything that I've been told about black holes. I'm saying there is some irrefutable data that's like, okay, every scientist, every astrophysicist in the world will say, whatever these things are, the mass is so great, even at the speed of light cannot escape this mass. To me, that's one of these. That's an observation that I feel is a fact.
So, where are they observing this phenomena, if not in other galaxies?
Well, it would definitely be in other galaxies.
Right? Okay, and you think that they've seen other galaxies then?
Yeah.
Okay. But then that's where we like, Nick. If you think that they truly have like the pictures you see and shit are them taking real pictures of other galaxies, or they sent instruments out and they're sending back data from black holes and other galaxies, then yeah, man, shit, keep NASA. Hey, I feel you. You're there, nigga. You're there. I just don't see that. I just like the idea of it is so fast, and I get it because niggas are just like, wow, it's wonderful. I look up in the sky and we're up there. Like I know there's a planet that rains glass, and if you stand on it, it'll cut you. And there's diamond lakes, and yeah, they ain't seen none of that. Nigga. They ain't seen none of it.
Like you mean like with a microscope, like with a telescope, and like actually like visually seeing that?
Yeah, if you think they're seeing other galaxies and able to extract data from other galaxies through the Hubble telescope, yet I don't have a picture of the bottom of the ocean, sure. It's all there.
No, okay, but...
And I've actually been thinking about your one meme. The moon landing wasn't... The moon landing was not done with CGI, nigga. It was practical effects. So the CGI, that CGI shit, yeah, nigga, I thought about that for a minute. I thought about that for a minute. No, I thought about that for a minute because I was like, yeah, that's a good point. So I kind of looked into that, and then I was like, wait a minute, Kubrick did it on a soundstage. It wasn't done with no CGI. Niggas trying to throw people off the fucking. Nah, man. I had to look into that because that's a good argument. I was like, yo, how? But I forgot. Hey, like I said, it is a wondrous thought. I agree. Hey, and maybe show me some papers or something, but I just can't picture them in other galaxies sending back real data. And I know they sent the Challenger 3 and every 6,000 years it gets one email through because, you know, they launched it like in 60s when email wasn't like, I just, hey, if you think that's just, I want to believe it. I really do, but it's a stretch. It's a stretch to me.
To me, it's not. I don't understand why. Why is it a stretch? Because you just can't understand it, or
well, because we've been on the moon once since '69, and we've never been back, and yet you think that they have crafts in other galaxies relaying data that's telling you how black holes react. Okay, and trust me, I understand everything. I actually love space. I wish they could send that detailed of data back, but I just don't think they are.
So as of today, you don't think human beings are capable of landing on the moon?
I don't. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. I wish, you know what, again, it's the greatest, I would probably call it the greatest feat in human history, period. And I mean, they lost the data, which is totally understandable. You know what I mean? Like Tutankhamun, I still know what his face looks like from fucking 6,000. But somehow they lost 900 boxes, so they can't go back. using infinitely more advanced technology. It's just not something I'm ready to believe willingly.
So do you believe in that we're in the solar system?
Okay, we gotta move on from the black hole thing. We gotta move on. There's a lot of stuff we need to touch on.
So do you believe this? Do you believe the sun exists?
Yeah, of course. Wow. Isn't it shining down on you?
We can't get there.
Are you observing the sun?
Well,
are you able to observe the sun with your own eyes?
For all I know,
every time the sun is out, does it not feel hotter?
No, not every time.
Not every time, but is there not a correlation between the sun blazing and it being hot?
Not necessarily. I've seen the sun blaze in the middle of wintertime.
Moving on from what up, Sang? How you doing, family? Sang Grell in here, libation time. Moving on from the solar system and the debates on if the sun exists.
I never said this. I said the sun existed. He said I didn't know. Because I don't know why. I mean, because I don't believe black hole.
Let's talk about.
Oh shit, that's right.
Shock G, and move away from the black hole thing.
Why? That's a good topic, man.
It is, but we 48 minutes in, and we only have like a certain amount of time. We have a review and everything. True. R.I.P. Shock G, Digital Underground. Were y'all two Shock G fans?
I kind of grew up. My older sister was kind of like, she's the one that introduced me to that whole Humpty Dumpty shit. I always thought it was a little bit
Humpty Dumpty shit.
You gotta stop the Humpty Dumpty shit. We just going this. I don't.
My bad. But anyways,
that Humpty dance, Humpty Hump.
No. I was just playing anyways. Yeah.
So I always thought it was kind of like it was always gimmicky. But I always found it entertaining.
But that was just one song. Have you heard any of Digital Underground's tracks other than that?
Yeah, I have. But that's the only one I could really remember.
To be completely honest, those are the two tracks you'd think of are my two memorable tracks as well. Which would be Humpty Dance and Do What You Like. I see guys and girls dancing. I see. Yeah, that was.
I'm shocked.
I gotta admit, those were like my biggest tracks as well, so I'm not gonna totally drag Thaddy for that, but yeah, I like Shock G enough, you know what I mean. I really like Digital Underground. That song definitely like molded my shit. Like it was just one of the songs like we banged forever, right? Like it's just
I gotta drag y'all two for a little bit, because at the end of the day, I had Sex Packets before I heard Humpty Dance. Do What You Like was the song that put me on to Digital Underground though. Because it was just like a happy like do what you like.
Yeah. Sometimes we buy the video. It was like Buddy just jumping in the pool and shit. It was a good.
I remember I saw that shit. We went to I was at I don't know if it's like Sam the Record Man or HMV or whatever, and I saw Shock G like the Sex Packets, and he's holding up the condom that says Sex Packet. I'm like, I gotta get this shit. It's a nigga, you know what I'm saying? And it's an actual dope album and shit too. But Shock G is a Bay Area legend. Like he's the one that put Tupac on. Like Tupac was a backup dancer for Digital Underground before he came on the same song track. And then motherfuckers Interscope heard him rapping on that track, and I think they signed him, and that's when he came out with Strictly for My Niggas or Tupacalypse. Which one was? I always get that fucked up. We've had this conversation. What was the first one?
I want to say Tupacalypse.
I want to say Tupacalypse as well.
I think it was Tupacalypse.
Yeah,
Tupacalypse now, then Strictly for My Niggas.
Yeah, and then Me Against the World. But there was that, and Shock G actually, I think he co-produced Strictly for My Niggas I think he's co-produced Strictly for My Niggas, the one that has Tupac's I Get Around on it. He co-produced that album. He did a lot of shit. I was looking at some shit into Shock G, shit that I didn't even know of. This man he's the Prince of hip hop. At the end of the day, he actually did songs with Prince and produced songs with Prince. Like Shock G was like that dude. So you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't as prevalent. Like when people talk about like the best MCs or the best groups or the Digital Underground of Shock G usually doesn't pop up in the everyday, and he's probably not in my top 5. But at the end of the day, when you think back on it and some of the shit that Shock G actually was involved in, Shock G would have to be in some of my favorite hip hop.
So I feel like if I did more research, I would maybe know some of the tracks that he was kind of behind, and I'm sure I would like more of them. But again, just like Thaddy, I just really only know the 2 tracks really well. But those were tracks, man. Like they were. I've literally played them till. If they throw on Old School at a house party today,
Humpty Dance
is gonna exactly. You know what I mean? So
and Humpty Dance, like I know Thaddy said it was gimmicky, but Humpty Dance, like it still didn't seem gimmick. It still doesn't seem gimmicky to me.
You know what? I agree with that. I agree with that. It was gimmicky too, but I feel like it was gimmicky in an age of gimmicks. Like I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I feel like it was gimmicky, but it was actually artistic, and
it was just like a goofy hip hop song that was like not goofy in the weird Canadian way, but just like funny and playful. Like
but it didn't take nothing away from the artistry of it. You know what I mean? Like it was still like brilliant art. It's almost like, and forgive me, this might be like a weird ass analogy, but it's like, you know the movie Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how that's just like a super weird, like abstract kind
life
of movie?
Story, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of gimmicky, but like you cannot deny like that's like genius work, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at like that Humpty song. It's like, yo, sure, it's gimmicky, but like it's still brilliant.
Still good.
Like,
yeah.
Can we say like
like gimmicky doesn't have to have that negative connotation, right?
I feel what you're saying. So we could say like the Humpty song was like the Napoleon Dynamite of hip hop.
Yeah,
basically. Napoleon Dynamite was like you watched it, and when you're done watching it, you're like, you're really there's no antagonist, there's really no protagonist, there's no climax, there's no, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't follow the regular formats, but it was entertaining. But then when you look at it, like there had to be some kind of cinematic genius behind it to make a movie like that and make it popular. And that's probably like the same thing with Shock G and Digital Underground. There had to be some kind of musical genius behind it to make it popular. Like Humpty Dance, I think the Humpty Dance really wasn't set up for its success. If you think about it, right? It didn't follow that formula of a successful pop song that came out back then, you know?
I'd say it almost kind of birthed like the ideology of like the what's that weird ass nigga?
Don't say Lil Nas X, bro.
No. They're from LA. He always wears those golf hats.
Oh, you talking about Wolfgang and fucking
yeah.
Oh, Tyler the Creator and Earl Sweatshirt.
We're like, to me, those guys are real artists, but a part of it is just a joke, you know, like it's but it's
like they're trying to be what they are, is what you're saying. It's not 100% authentic.
No, but for me to say like, but they're ultra talented, not even like, I guess they're talented. Like Tyler the Creator is a really talented person. Whether you appreciate his art is another story, but like that's why I see the
and Earl Sweatshirt's kind of like, he's dope. Like Earl Sweatshirt has some dope shit out there. That motherfucker is crazy lyrical.
Yeah, his lyrics are whoa.
And then you got Frank Ocean too, right? I think and I understand what you're saying. I think I have to agree to where it's like when you look at some of those tracks and singling out the Humpty Dance as one of those tracks, it's really one of those things where it's like these cats are, hip hop is a serious art form. Yeah. And regardless of what state of hip hop you're in, there's some real seriousness and there's that stigma where you can, like, there's not a lot of fun in hip hop. Right? Whereas Shock G kind of put the fun back into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You look at the other genres and art forms and stuff like that. There's a lot of fun
with real talent though. With talent.
It was a gimmick that wasn't corny. Like, I don't think the Humpty Dance was corny, or else we still wouldn't be popping it today.
It wasn't corny, but I think the dance itself there wasn't a real dance, which is part of the best part. He's just like shake your leg, do this. It was just kind of shake your body, man. Like, it was just
have fun with it. Basically,
that's why, like, a Soldier Boy, it's got a dumb little dance with it, but his was just getting your body moving. You know what I mean?
And even
did either of you see that little clip that's going around of I don't know where this documentary's from, but it's basically Shock G kind of like explaining like truly overstanding like lyrical and like flows and stuff. He talks about like so Shock G and what's the nigga that tells that this patch on his eye? Slick Rick.
Slick Rick.
Yeah.
He's like, we rhyme from the nasal passage, and he's like, Biggie rhymes like a jazz player. Like he's floating in there. You know, Tupac rhymes like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I have a dream. You know, like
because he did that.
And the way this nigga was like seriously analyzing and building these kind of like, you know, parallels,
nuances and shit,
and just like his understanding of the art was immense. You know, so it really showed like, yo, this guy was a real true artist, even when he was playing around.
I gotta say R.I.P. Shock G, most definitely. And I'm so sick and fucking tired of saying art. Like, it's been 4 fucking
it's been so many. Like, oh my goodness, I was saying that the other day.
In a row, we gotta say R.I.P. to somebody.
Shock G, I'm still shocked about Omar, bro. Like,
yo,
fuck.
I'm telling you, bro. OC, R.I.P. OC, R.I.P. Chris Copeland, R.I.P. Shock G, DMX, Black Rob, like, has COVID shown us and the world that award shows, ceremonies, and traditions are obsolete?
Daddy?
Sorry, I need more context to this question.
The Oscars were last night, and they had very low performance. The Grammys had a very low performance.
Like, we're talking like ratings and whatnot?
Ratings and viewership and everything like that. Also, with COVID coming, the popularity behind... So, before COVID, there was a large popularity behind Grammy-nominated and Oscar-nominated stuff. Especially the Oscars. People would... The Oscar-worthy shows had, like, critical and critical acclaim and viewer acclaim, like people like us or whatever, Whereas now, a lot of the stuff that's getting acclaim is because we're not going to the theaters. We're doing streaming. COVID has us staying in our houses, and it's really, to me, it feels like it's rendering these award shows and the importance of the acclaim these award shows are giving obsolete.
Yeah, you know, I find it real interesting because, like, it's a little bit counterintuitive to me, especially for like things like the Grammys, because like, award shows are, you know, shows that are consumed in the household and everyone's at home, so you think this is the perfect time to put shit like that on because everyone's at home. What else are you gonna do but be at home and watch these award shows? But specifically with the Oscars, it kind of does make a little bit of sense because I don't think there was a lot of movies being made this time around, and the movies that were already pre-made are premiering on either Prime or Netflix. So like, you're not getting the same feeling as if you would have go out and watch a movie in the theater. So you're like, the movie is just okay. Like, you're just not excited about theatrical releases like you were pre-COVID.
Yeah. And I also think that it also has to do with the fact that stars are more accessible on their own platforms. Like, I used to watch this shit because I just wanted to see, like, I'd watch a fucking Grammys because I wanted to see Jay-Z and what he had to say, but now I could see that on Instagram any minute. Like he puts out videos, they have Drink Champs where they're talking to all these stars. Like I can literally bring up a million interviews, house parties, whatever I want. You know what I mean? And I think it just shows that no one really gives a fuck about the fake awards these dudes get. You know what I mean? That was for them. Wasn't for us. Like we just wanted to see the stars we loved, right? And of course you wanted to see who won. Like there was a little bit of entertainment behind it, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I need what those candid looks that I used to like clamor on for. Like I just wanted to, Jay-Z or actors not in the role, like and just saying their mind. But now you could get that any moment. Everybody has a podcast and like everybody, you know what I mean? I don't think we're clamoring for the little bit of visuals that we used to like be so thirsty for when it came to movie stars and rap stars and whatnot.
True. And I think the artists themselves have kind of disregarded the accolades from these awards. Like, Eminem doesn't go to those awards anymore. Kanye said he'll never. Like, they're telling us like, I don't give a fuck about the Grammy. Like, what's his name? That the Weeknd that kind of got blown off, and now he's anti. So then all their fans are kind of like, well, we don't like the Grammys either. So I feel like
it doesn't matter
both ways. Like if the stars that you love are telling you, I don't give a fuck about that show anymore, what are you gonna like it for?
Because I mean, on lesser levels, I think we don't need the machine, and the machine is what used to tell us what was popular. Yeah. And we don't need the machine no more, right? Like everybody. Like everybody can just tell me their albums out. Like nobody needs your label bullshit. I made $1 billion and guess what? I didn't even win an award. So who really gives a fuck? It doesn't even mean anything. It's just a group of people who choose their favorites. Like that doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Cause like you think of like an artist like Russ and he has billions of fucking fans, right? He's never going to be at the Grammys. So like, what are those fans going to go look at the Grammys? Like, they're superstars. They're just on YouTube and TuneCore.
Exactly. And if you follow his Instagram, you probably see a lot more of his candid when he's just at home having conversations than you're ever going to get while he just thanks a bunch of people that you don't even know half the time. Like,
that's a good point.
You guys got anything you want to throw out there before we do the album review?
I gotta throw something out real quick.
Like literally, or you got?
I won't forget to mute.
You want to start that thing up?
I feel like I want to manually unmute him just to see what's going on. But I tell you right now, this clean eating got me hungry constantly, bro.
Yeah, it starts like that because you got to get used to it.
Yeah, not eating like shit and being
exactly.
Oh my god, bro! I'm telling you right now. Like I've been sitting here having a conversation with you, thinking about like hamburgers and fucking.
Yeah. No, it's tough in the beginning. It's tough in the beginning, man. Like we're on a restart right now, and it's tough when you come off of shit where you just eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, nah. And it's like I said, my birthday, and then all those passings, and it's not like niggas are getting shot up out there. It's all health and kind of other shit, right? Like you got to take care about yourself. So.
And remember we used to say, don't eat your money in 2020, and 2020 looked at us and said, yeah, okay.
Exactly. Nice try, nigga.
Let me give you
I said, don't eat my money in 2020, and like by April and shit, I was like,
we was eating all the money.
Putting cake icing on fucking Oreos, like it was like this shit. Like it was like salsa nachos, nigga. I was like,
right, bro. There was a time I remember we sat one Saturday, ordered skip the dishes 4 times.
Yeah,
with a fridge full of food, just me and Sassy, no kids. And I'm like, yo, bruh. I need to chill.
Yeah.
Because
I need to chill too. Because I had some health goals, man, and I really want to reach those. So I have to rein it in. We do.
Yeah. So you guys have anything you want to chat about before we get to the?
Well, the last little topic, I've had this one for few weeks now, but it's about a suburb in Chicago that's going to pay black residents reparations, and they're saying that this could be a national model. So the city's basically going to commit 10 million over a decade, and they will do $400,000 rounds of payments. The first phase will provide 25,000 to a small number of eligible black residents for home repairs, down payments, or mortgage payments in a nod toward historically racist housing policies. So they're actually trying to do some sort of reparations. Do you guys agree that that's a good thing? And I don't know, how do you think that shit should be handed out? Like, I don't know. Sometimes they always want to know how we would fix shit. And I don't know. Do you think that those kind of reparation payments are a step in the right direction?
I love the idea. Like, I think the idea is definitely a step in the right direction. But like you said, I don't know how you qualify, qualified candidates for, what I mean? Like, so for instance, like, what's a black person? Like, if you're 25% black, do you qualify? Or how do they judge that?
Exactly. And that's almost one of the things that I was worried about was what about the criteria? Because I don't see how you don't have people capitalizing off this, trying to find a connection to 2% blackness. And now they're the ones getting the loans and shit. What do you think, Will?
I know a lot of motherfuckers that will be black for a reparation.
Yeah.
Right? That's one. Number two.
So would you have to be foundationally black, I guess? Like, would you have to actually be able to trace roots to slavery in America? Because that's what you're getting paid for.
If you're in America and you're an American citizen and your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents didn't immigrate, you probably can trace your roots to slavery.
So we have to prove that your grandparents didn't immigrate. So that's
But then it's like,
because 1869 slavery was abolished. So unless you were a free man, which did exist,
right,
there's a good chance if you can trace back to then, you're starting to get close.
And even if you were a free man, someone in your lineage wasn't.
Yeah.
So what part of your lineage would have to make you qualify? Was your second cousin a slave? You know what I'm saying? Like,
then you get.
Did you marry into slavery? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then it's like, it's 2021. Is it too late for reparations? Are reparations really going to benefit now? Is anybody going to benefit from reparations? Because it's one of those things where it's like, bro, but if I come into your house on a daily basis and beat your ass, whoop you down, fuck you up, and take shit from you, but after 5 years of doing this, I slide you 25 grand. But every day after, I come into your house and beat your ass and fuck you up. That money that I give you is really just gonna look like a don't say I didn't do anything for you type of thing. Whereas, like, at the end of the day, wouldn't you just want me to stop coming in there and beating your ass? You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna give us all these reparations. Chicago's fucked up. Flint is fucked up. The United States is fucked up. The government, the justice system is fucked up. So instead of reparations, why are we not looking to end systemic racism, or at least take systemic racism, which still, if you think about it, is behind that little Wizard of Oz curtain, and putting it on the forefront for everybody to actually see? Because right now, systemic racism is like the atom. The shit exists, but if you think about it, it's really only in theory, because nobody wants to put it out there. So put systemic racism out there. Don't give me money. At the end of the way I see it is like, don't give me money. I can go and make money and have wealth.
According to Idol, if you've never seen it, it doesn't exist.
So if So
I'm just joking. I'm just.
so that means Thaddeus doesn't need ass because you've never witnessed it. So
yeah, exactly.
Don't give me piles of money. Take away the obstacles that my peers don't have, so I can go and generate wealth for me and generations after me. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like,
True.
oh, you're gonna help me renovate my house. Well, what? It's that's how I feel. Sorry, long story, not as long.
Two points I want to make. I was gonna say, and I don't know if this really works, but maybe we can look as far as like how do we qualify people to, I guess, qualify for reparations. Maybe we look at what they did for natives. I'm not too sure how that qualifies, but people tend to qualify for that, and there's a system, and I don't hear too much griping about, natives that aren't natives really getting native assistance. But I don't know. But I'm thinking that might be a model to kind of follow.
But I think there still is a criteria.
Yes, but all I'm saying is I think that might be the model that we might want to look at as far as figuring out how an African American would qualify for these reparations. My second part is, I get it. Like, you throwing money at a problem doesn't necessarily fix the problem. But I think what reparations should do is giving Black people the same economic advantage, or trying to level the playing field of the economic advantage that people had for just being white. Now, it's not going to fix the emotional trauma, perhaps, but at least you can say, like in the 50s when they started building the suburbs and saying only white people can qualify for these loans to buy these houses, that's a huge economic, step up. And I think Black people deserve to maybe get that same treatment.
But they're not. They're just getting money. Is this really giving them an economic advantage, or is this just giving them more?
Well, if they're putting a bunch of money into fixing a bunch of the houses, well, then it will raise property values. So I mean, you're kind of injecting wealth there. But
and you're giving them an asset, not just cash. Like, it's like, and if it is cash, it's like, here's cash to fix your house, or I'm giving you a loan to buy an asset, not here, go buy some rims.
Which is one of the
fix up that whole neighborhood. Like, if you give 3 people that live on Martin Luther King Boulevard fix their house, the property value isn't going to go up. Just the value.
No,
of the
but that's,
you know what I'm saying. So are they?
But I think they're trying to do
that one person.
I think they're trying to do as many neighborhoods as possible and stuff like that. So I don't think it's about doing 1 or 2 houses. They're rolling out a humongous plan, but whether or not they can afford to is part of it, right? But I mean, and helping to fix up some of the bandos might help, right? Like, in a fucking hood.
Does fixing up a bando help? Why not? Because if you think, like, if you're fixing up a bando and this is Chicago, that whole neighborhood's probably like, so are they building community centers? Are they building outreach centers? Are they building banks in that neighborhood? Are they taking out liquor stores? Like, are they? The property value is not the root, because we've all seen gentrification. We've all seen them raise the property value of a hood and then turn it into a trendy spot and then push the Black folks out, right?
See, but I think that what they're trying to do is
the property value, or are they going to, or do they want to raise the economic value? Are they trying to, but then keep that economics within the Black community? Are they doing things like that? Like, you got to put you got to put banks in there. You got to have Black-owned banks. You got to put
but I think
economics into there, right? I really feel like this is just one of those. This is just the letting the donkey have the carrot type of thing. I really don't feel like this is something that's going to make a change.
Agreed, because that would take so much money and it would be hard. Right now, all they're trying to do is give a nod to the historical racist housing policies, right? Like what Thaddeus brought up is he was the redlining policies, right? So there's that. There's like job disparity. They're gonna have to address. There's income disparity even in jobs. So like getting a job, having income. There's schooling. There's policing, right? So I guess the point that I'm making is that when you talk about systemic racism, there's like actual provable effects, not theories powering it.
Yep.
So it's nothing like the black holes. Because there's actual proof. There's actual. No, I'm just no. Fatty said, he brought it up. He's like, if Idol doesn't see it, and I was like, no, nigga, because there's like systemic racism. I don't see it, but we've both just agreed that it's provable. Yes.
And okay, it's just like
it's not a theory. Yes.
Hold on. You've never seen an atom, right?
You've
never seen an atom?
No. But to say that everything I haven't seen,
proven that atoms exist.
Well, no, it's a theory, nigga. That's the whole point that I've been trying to make to you. Go do some research on it.
But
there isn't.
Hold on. I don't. Tell me the people of Japan in Nagasaki or near Hiroshima think atoms are a myth after they've been atom bombed.
Where the fuck's Nagasaki, nigga?
Just talking about Nagasaki.
Nagasaki. Okay, so and this is another question I have. And then when we wrap this up, we got to go to review. But they're not really putting the money into the hood. They're giving the money to people who live in the hood, quote unquote. Not like, you know what I'm saying, but loosely speaking, giving people in the hood to fix up their shits, raise their shits. But are they stopping that racist system of the housing market, which still exists today? Like, are they saying, and on top of reparations, we're not gonna practice these the racist housing market tactics that we have, the redlining and stuff like that, because they still have redlining. They don't do it like they did it back in the day when they literally had the red line saying, this is where we're gonna allow more, and then this is the da-da-da-da. But they still have those tactics in the banks and mortgages and shit like that. Are they stopping that or even recognizing that? Because that hasn't been officially recognized. That has been proven and shown that it existed, but you don't see Neiman Marcus or whoever coming out and saying this is practices that we practice and we shall vow to make sure that these practices are done, or whatever the big banks and shit like that. So are they stopping that? Or is it like I said, I'm going to continue to beat your ass in your house, but here's some money while I still beat your ass? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, because niggas will be like, oh, reparations. Because historically, you give a nigga a pile of money and a nigga gonna be happy, because a nigga does not feel any type of worth until he has he's at the same monetary level as the white man in the United States. And that is a part of historic or systemic racism, because everybody wants to be white man rich. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where it's like, if we throw a pile of money at them, because at the end of the day, that ain't shit. You just threw a pile of money at everybody for COVID. So saying that, the government came out their pockets to give us money. No, okay, cool. Can the governments come out their pockets to give recognition to what the governments are in their pockets for?
I think it's a little bit different on two sides. It's a small, drop in the bucket as far as like $10 million over how many years? That ain't shit. Like, I think it's just like it's a symbolic kind of, hey, look, we're trying to show the world we're doing something.
But that's the whole thing. Sorry to interrupt, but fuck the symbolism.
But,
bro,
let me finish.
What the fuck is symbolism?
No, but let me finish.
Change.
But I think the symbol is in the right direction as far as focusing on the actual kind of root of white wealth, which was real estate. The idea that the middle class can go out to the suburbs and own...
The root of white wealth was free labor, not real estate. It was free labor.
Let me finish.
Look at the United States before slavery. It was a mud hut.
I know, but the middle class in America, the white middle class in America, was able to have a legacy to pass on to their families.
Right.
after this redlining thing, basically in the 50s, when they were, basically, if you were willing to work, you could own something.
Mm-hmm. But this
and they're kind of trying. They're kind of show like
the reparations isn't saying, oh, now you can own something. It's like, oh, we're gonna help you fix up what you already have. A lot of these black families that they own.
Well, no, I don't mention that there was loans given out for real. It seems like it focused on real estate, like an actual asset. Not just cash. Here's $70,000. Do with it what you will. They're like, no, we're gonna give you an asset, something that you can build on.
Mm-hmm.
Or fix up your house if it's dilapidated, or to give you some sort of value, or
because if you already own a house and they were like, well, we're just going to give you another. Well, maybe they're saying we'll give you money too, just because you own your house. You're not excluded.
So they're giving a bunch of people a bunch of money to fix up their houses to raise the property value so they can buy them back and gentrify the neighborhoods? I definitely don't see this as a win. I see this as
okay. Let me ask you this then: what is your ideal, I guess, idea of reparations?
I don't think reparations now is even a good idea. I think reparations would have been a beautiful idea in the 50s, 60s, and maybe 70s. Right now, reparations is throwing money at a generation that doesn't even understand why they should have it. You know what I'm saying?
But in a system where blacks are disproportionately economically left behind,
right,
they're still suffering from the effects of slavery,
right,
and Jim Crow.
And money does not end the suffering.
But
you give a homeless man $1 million lottery, he's gonna be homeless in a year.
No, but what happens if you give a homeless man a home?
Right, but you're not. This isn't giving the homeless man a home. This is giving the homeless man money, or to fix up what he already has. I'm not. This is not taking.
I don't. Did you not just say this is a real estate?
Bro, I'm
not. Yeah, it was. I get what you guys are saying, but
man a home. We're talking in what's it called? What's it called when you use an example that was that a simile or whatever? We're not talking in literal terms of giving a homeless man a home. Of course, they're giving them things for loans and things like that. But at the end of the day, what I'm talking about is the system still exists. I don't give a fuck how many homes you give to black people. If the system still exists, then that's not a win. The system needs to be overridden, abolished from the inside. I don't think money. I think this may be a step. But the whole system needs to be revamped. It needs to be publicly acknowledged, and it needs to be on a fundamental. I'm talking on a federal government level, acknowledged, and it needs to be attacked and changed. That's what I feel, and I feel that on a lot of sides. We all know Native folks that get those when you turn 18 checks and just fuck everything up.
I agree with you to a degree, but I don't know if you should do nothing until that happens, because I don't know. That's a pretty tall order.
No, that's why
I still think that taking certain steps to try to address certain disparities at least is a step in the right direction. I agree with Thaddeus.
No, that's what I was saying. This is a good step, but
I
don't think this is like a huge change, and I definitely don't feel like reparations at this point is what is needed. I don't think giving black people money is what is needed at this point. I do feel like in the form of reparations, motherfuckers give black people land. Give black people land and give black people the opportunity to get to places where they should be without.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think maybe not exactly, but I think that is the spirit of Idol's whole point, or I'm not saying it's Idol's point like he's the one that made it up, but the whatever Idol was bringing up, the entirety of it revolves around real estate, which is giving people land, right? In a sense, I get it.
It's giving them a home to put on the land. They don't own the land. And I mean, I'm just going off of what he said. I don't know the details of it. So.
No, but if you own real estate, you own the land.
No, you don't. You can own the house and not own the land. The land could be owned, like you own the house, but you don't own the land. I mean, I don't live in Chicago, and I don't know how it works in Chicago. But you can own the plot or anything like that, but you don't literally own the land. I'm talking about giving them acres. Let them give them land. Give them land and the capital to build on the land.
If you own your home, you own the land. Like the actual, like you're talking, like the actual house, like because you can tear down that house and build another house, and no one can tell you not to. Like you own the land.
They can say,
but
the regulations here, this is regulations there, or you can, but the house has to be like this, or you can't build past there, or it has to have this, that, and the third. I'm talking about let them. Own
but that's all land though. Like,
well, then we could talk semantics all day.
The only thing is
it's an argument that makes no sense because it's one of those things where it's like, well, we can argue if you own the land or if you don't. None of us live in fucking Chicago, nor do we know any type of real estate law in Chicago. So we're arguing shit we don't even know. All I'm saying is,
I don't. We're literally saying they're giving you access to real estate, which is land.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, bro. You said it a couple times.
But I feel like this program is a step in the right direction because it's not just handing out checks, and the checks that they are handing out are specifically for
certain projects
or actual assets, not just here's money, do with it what you will. It's like here's money, you can only use it for an asset that will, I think it's a step in the right direction as far as giving Black people economic advantages. And I think that's where the best use of economic reparations is. I don't think you're going to cure racism. But if I'm a Black man in America, if I have every opportunity to make as much money as a white person does, and they're still going to be racist, that's as best as it's going to be, right? Just give me the same opportunity. I don't care if you like me or not, but I just give me the same opportunity that you had.
Yeah.
But if the system's still there, then they're not giving them the same opportunity. Keeping the system in place. I don't give a fuck what they give anybody. If the system still exists, then they do not have the same opportunity.
The system of
the systemic racism, the redlining, the systemic racism has not been formally acknowledged by the United States or the government.
No, I 100% agree with you on that.
Or the people that are involved in it, you know what I'm saying? So if the system still exists, of course, what you give them, whatever you give Black folks, that's going to give a Black folks either a leg up or at least a foothold to stand equally with their peers is a good step. But it's a short-lived step while the system still exists. Is what I'm saying.
And I agree with you. Like I think we're on the same page on that. But for me, I'm just saying, like, if white family XYZ was able to get $1 million worth of homes back in the 50s, and now finally there's a program that's going to give me $1 million home. Maybe I still can't buy $1 million home in that community, but at least now my community has $1 million homes. We're basically even. We're still racist, but at least I can buy the same type of home as you can now.
But you can't buy the same type of home that you can. You can just get what would be considered that type of home in the neighborhood that you're allowed to get that home in. A, B, you're 30 years behind the person who had the opportunity to do it before you. C, once enough of those type of homes are in that neighborhood, the neighborhood's going to be bought out and you're going to be put at square one. Bro, you will never equal gentrification. You'll never be at equal ground if the system still exists to bring you below equal ground. I don't understand how that's an argument.
It's not. I'm definitely not arguing that. And I was just about to say, like, that last part of your argument is like the defining factor where it's no longer equal at that point, is when you say, you're 30 years ahead and you still can't get in the same neighborhood. But I do think real estate is like the first step. Now at least I can pass down an economic advantage to my children.
I think it's an okay step to address housing, racist housing policies. I agree with Will. It doesn't address everything, but again, you would have to do it in steps and stages anyway. So if you're going to at least address a point of the housing part, because I don't think there's going to be anybody who has like a constitution book or something and they're just going to be like, and scratch out systemic racism and then be like, there, sorry, we should have just did the whole thing. Like, you're going to have to do it in sections and try to bring everybody up. And I think it'd be too...
Can they make those actions illegal? Can they make...
well, racism is illegal.
Racism is illegal, but...
I know that. I agree with you. I agree. I'm just saying...
Because
there's no way that
there's no transparency. There's like no transparency with these tactics, right? A bank could be like, no, there's no transparency in it. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a politician, so I could just come with, and I'm not a politician and I'm not a researcher, so I just come with my opinion on shit, and hopefully a dart lands at least on the board. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully with what the shit I talk, at least a dart lands on the board. I just feel like, and I've always felt like that with reparations and shit like that, where it's like, unless you give motherfuckers a plot of land and $1 million to do what they will on that land, build the house, and it outside of the neighborhood that they've been forced into. Like, I could fix up my house, bro. I'm still in the projects. There's still shootings going on. I still cannot take this $1 million you give to me and go to Brentwood and get that place because of whatever social standings I have, right? For the most part. So you're not clearing out my credit. Reparations, clear a motherfucker's debt. Put their credit score at 800. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of those things. Some of the things that, it's, I don't know.
You know what, one thing I'm going to say, and I know that this is going to seem like a little bit of a regression, but I do think it's just kind of weird, and that is that, and I don't know if we're gonna have time to talk about this, but we probably won't because we're coming down to the end. But I was gonna say, a couple days ago, like, Biden, he signed like an anti-Asian hate bill, and I just thought it funny that they passed that through the Senate so quickly when they could have written up an anti-black hate bill years ago. Like, it basically hastens all of the hate crime legal processing and shit. I don't get how 96% of the Senate votes to pass that immediately, but black people can't get shit for 100. Like, I don't know. That just seemed weird to me. So I don't know if anything's getting addressed. I don't know if anything's getting addressed.
Do you have any details on what was in that bill? In my head, I imagine it was like super symbolic. It meant nothing. There's probably no guts in there. So it's like one of those things like, oh yeah.
The bill would establish a new Justice Department position to expedite the review of COVID-19 related hate crimes. So hate crimes against Asians due to COVID-19, it's going to expedite the process. All I'm saying is do that. Those cops could have been expedited. Like, things could be expedited for some niggas. Like, I'm not saying that it's not a good thing. Yeah, you give it. I get it. I just think that, you want to talk about some symbolism and what they really want to do. I just think maybe the division is a little clearer than
they don't. But do you think that anti-hate Asian hate thing is actually going to like
spend our money?
So I was going to say, do you think that anti-Asian hate law, whatever they passed, do you think that's going to do anything? Like, it sounds like it's there, but it'll never be used.
And why?
But they can't. But then why can't they just give the symbol to niggas too?
They did with the civil rights movement. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not arguing for the other side. I'm not.
There's no. Yeah. But there's no.
By the way, I do want to say that if you look. Supposedly, and I haven't actually done this research myself yet, it's something that I'd heard, but supposedly if you look at the very end of the civil rights bill, you do realize that it isn't just for nigs, right?
No, 100%.
Yeah, okay. So if you're going to give something to one group, that's all I'm trying to say, right? Like, hey, at the end of it, it says something about LGBT, or not in those terms, of course, because that terminology wasn't around, but it's not black only.
No, and that's why all those other groups were able to go after the government using the civil rights bill because it was open ended and it did allow for everybody to kind of latch onto it. So it's crazy because
when you talk to a politician, they say that, well, we can't do anything just for one group. That will never get passed. That's one of their reasonings why they don't help black people, because, well, you can't. That's why even when they say Obama did shit, it was always had LGBT included because it could never be for just blacks. So all I'm saying is I don't see that same energy when we're talking about you can't single out groups.
Well, it's just because
that's what we gotta left it. That's what we gotta left it. That's the end of that. That's the end of that. So we gotta
all right. I knew we wouldn't have time for that.
We don't.
I like that convo though. I like that convo.
We definitely we definitely have to get that conversation going.
Okay, so we're gonna do a quick review of EP.
We're gonna do a quick review of EP. So what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, every couple of weeks we're gonna take a suggestion from a watcher, a listener, a fan, whatnot, whatever you want to call them, and we're gonna take an album that they enjoy or they want us to review. We're gonna review it, and there's no rules to this shit. It doesn't have to be in the urban genre. It doesn't have to be anything. If it's you want us to review it, we'll review it. Just as long as it's relatively new. I do not want to review the Eagles Hotel California. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be relatively new. So that's what we're doing. So we had a submission from the homie Static Poetic. You know what I'm saying? That's family. That's longtime listener. That's supporter.
Stat Pope.
And it was JPEG Mafia. And it was EP. He did drop EP2, which came out 2021. But this was JPEG Mafia EP. Came out 2020.
Yes.
How'd y'all feel?
I actually didn't get a chance to
listen to it. That's okay.
I feel like shit.
Bro,
I actually feel like shit.
And you had it for 2 weeks. Like,
I'm gonna say, I get it.
Feel like shit because I have no excuse. And I hate to do that to like a fan of the show. I respect. Like I actually feel bad for not being on top of it.
It's okay.
My bad.
Yo, I'm gonna say, I kind of liked this album. I feel like it challenged me. And I know that sounds fucking weird, but it was just very uniquely weird. I felt like I had to like kind of like let myself get into the tracks. But when I did, I actually did enjoy a good amount of the tracks. Like it was so different. I enjoy that. Like I personally listen to Earl Sweatshirt. I listen to Tyler the Creator, right? I listen to the Grinch album. I like that weird shit. It was very weird and grimy. It took me back to different ages. Like some of the songs were just like a hip, a hop, a hibited. Like it even took you, like it went around all the ages. It was really weird. The production was like really interesting. I actually did not mind this for what it was. I don't think I'd bang it hard, but
pause.
I thought it had some. No, it's a song. Like, I didn't say them.
Songs have no gender.
God damn.
Songs
no, but for reals, yeah, you know what? I kind of got into it, and you know, one of the tracks I was really feeling, one of the verses, my girl hated it. She's here to attest, but it's. That one chick is like, boop, boop. She keeps doing that. She's like, I got a fat mouth, right? I got a fat mouth, and there ain't no collagen. I got a fat cat, and the throat that's infinite. Yeah, the infinite. Yeah.
That's where she started, and then she started screaming at the end of the track. I was like, that was that. I'm like, she said, yeah. And I was like,
yeah,
that wasn't horrible.
You know what? It was weirdly listenable. You know what I mean? As much as I don't think I would have ever picked this, I didn't mind it. And like I said, you know, I said, hey, those lyrics right there, boom. right, boo? You got those the fat mouth, right? No, she hated that part, but still, that was a dope part. So, JPEG Mafia, actually, and I mean this in the best way possible. I'm gonna give this like a 2.5, and I'm telling you, for the sound, you would think this is like a 1.5, but I gotta say the originality actually bumped it up for me. I actually was listening to something different. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, and that's all I gotta say about JPEG Mafia.
For me,
that's actually a great review and like perspective.
Yeah.
For me, this album was so unconventional. It felt like a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? In such a weird way. It felt like I can be unconventional with how I listen to it.
Y'all are making me excited about this shit. Like,
well, it's really
I'm intrigued now. I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
It just felt like, yo, like when you listen to when you listen to hip hop, you listen to R&B, you listen to rap. It's like you know the formula, so you kind of like your enjoyment is based off that formula. And then if something goes outside that formula, you're like, oh, I didn't like it. But when something is given to you that has no formula, you, like Idol said, you have to force yourself out of your comfort zone to be to give a non-objectional or objectional. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Unbiased.
Unbiased opinion on it. But then you start enjoying the shit. Like, it was just like, sometimes I didn't know there was a new song playing.
Exactly. and Adri and me and Adri were listening to it, and she even said it too. She was like, it's confusing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, once you get it, it's good.
It's so confusing, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it was weird, man. Yeah. I liked it. And I say that not in a cliche, dumb way. It challenged me, man, because I had to be like, okay, okay, that's how he's gonna ride it. Oh, okay, and and then his lyrics were, they actually spit like a little bit of street shit on there, and
they just did it like everything.
Yeah,
I was like, this is so weird. It's dope. Like
it's raw. Like there's a rawness to it. Yeah,
I fucks with it. I had it playing in the background, so I literally don't know what song was what, but I think it was. I know Bald because Bald, he kept saying I'm bald, that hairline, bald. Bald was my shit. For whatever reason, Bald had me going. I rewound Bald.
For whatever reason.
Because
that's what I mean. You're liking it, but you don't know why. And I don't. It's
like Old Dirty Bastard. So
it's because he's bald.
I don't know if he's bald. I saw a picture of him. He was wearing
it's because you're bald.
But isn't bald fucking? I got a fat mouth.
Is that no? This is one. No, I think that's. Oh shit!
I think that might have been bald.
Bro,
I know it was
shit's mashed up and meshed all the fucking time. I like Bald, but then if it is Bald, then there's two different hooks on the same song.
You might be right. You might be right. But okay.
Sense. So
and then every song was in caps. Except Living Single,
yeah.
Like it was just that is if there's any synopsis for this album, it's the songs are all in caps except one.
Yeah.
Like it's just really fucking weird. Like
half of
it's
them
an
have
acid
exclamation points. There's Bald.
It's like an remix. It's like an acid trip meets hip hop.
Yeah, I want to tell you right now. It was a wonderful 26 minutes. I didn't skip past any because
me neither.
None of them were conventional. I thought this is like the first time you listen to ODB and you're like, I don't know why I like ODB, but it's just because he's so like, there's nothing like him. I actually gave this a 3.5 just because A, the originality is off the chain. B, there wasn't a point where I was just like, this is some whack shit.
Yeah.
And C, it still kept my hip hop fundamental core intact, even when the bitch started screaming at the end of her verse, like she was Nicki, the old Nicki Minaj, like 2008 Nicki Minaj on methamphetamine, doing Roman, but Roman was high. You know what
with
I'm saying?
like Cardi B's
style.
Yeah, I thought it was
voice.
Cardi B.
I thought,
too.
yeah, because you know what it sounded like fucking those bloody shoes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It sounded like it was weird shit, man.
So Will, this was better than Capadonna?
Yeah,
I
like this one better. Than
I didn't find it better than Cap personally, but
I thought
but I actually appreciate Will's because Will said quick.
Will's second.
Yeah.
Capadonna had the formula, and I think Capadonna's album failed the formula. This didn't have a formula, so it couldn't fail the formula. I couldn't listen to this and be like, "Oh, you did it wrong," because I don't know what you're doing. But it sounds like you're doing what you should be doing. I don't get it. It's like getting head from a girl that has no teeth. I don't know why it feels. Never mind. Anyway, so my whole.
I was like, yeah, you know why it feels.
3. So I gave it a 3.5. You gave it a 2.5.
Yeah, but I said 2.5 to 3, so I'm willing to say a 3 on this.
You willing to give it a 3?
Which is above average, but
wow.
It was.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm telling you that for me, a point is getting pushed for originality.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's gonna equate to enjoyment for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that. Like you might be like, this isn't original. This is just weird, nigga.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that angle of it.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna agree with this. I don't think a lot of people are gonna agree with our score on this one. There's gonna be a lot of people, and you got to think like hip hop is extremely close-minded when it comes to new shit too. But
yeah.
So this is that, like, if you like the Artifacts, if you like LA niggas that weren't gangsters, and you like motherfucking if you like that bohemian shit, if you like
it's almost like that. You remember that the cool kids?
Yeah, you like
when fish
like
ride
cool
bicycles.
kids.
Like it's almost like a weird. It's got that very weird vibe, but yeah.
And if you like Odd Future, all those guys, Wolfgang.
Yeah.
And if you like Thundercat, there's some Thundercat-esque shit, because Thundercat's that new funk that Thundercat does is kind of on that weird shit too. But
yeah.
Like, you ever heard Dragon Ball Do-Rag?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Lyrically, you're gonna listen to this and be like, nigga, what? But Dragon Ball Do-Rag. But then when you listen to it sonically,
I might have to check it.
This is dope. Like, Dragon Ball Do-Rag is my shit. Like, that's my shit. And the video is fucking, I don't know, just LA breed, like, either gangsters or real bohemian ass niggas. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
In the water. But yeah, so we'll give it a 3. Thaddeus didn't listen to it.
Yo, but I'm actually like hyped, just like you two conversation about. I'm like, sounds so interesting. I'm actually kind of hyped to check it out now.
Shout out to 804 Wicked. You are late to the party, but at least you in the party, my dude. Big ups.
Ooh, I was gonna drop one thing. The nigga that killed George Floyd.
Yeah, he's guilty.
Oh yeah, guilty.
I ain't celebrating until we get to the sentencing, though.
Fair enough.
Sentencing.
Okay, we'll talk about it then.
You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of guilty motherfuckers.
But I will say, people are too mad about it.
About him being guilty?
People are too mad?
Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. Like, there's a whole group of motherfuckers who are not happy.
Ah, wow. I found all the motherfuckers that I thought would be like, you know, that were pro. What's that guy? Siobhan? How do you say his name?
Yeah, Chauvin.
They were all quiet. Or I saw like Will's best friend, Dean Devlin.
That's my best friend.
I'm just joking.
Fucking meth head.
But he was just like, okay, he's found guilty. Can we tell Black Lives Matter to shut up now, basically? Like, it's like...
Oh, okay. Because there's a lot of people who think that they didn't handle that case right, and they're saying that it was like all a bunch of shit. But anyways, that's too much for this night. My food's ready.
Next week. Yeah, you do that next week. Dead ass, like...
Poor Idol. He's been thinking about food since I was chomping on that salad and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
you ever heard Adrian in the background? She is stressing. She's, oh my god.
Yeah, she like, these niggas ain't done yet?
yet?
Tell them to shut up.
It's been an hour and 56 minutes.
Look at Idol. Yeah.
She is.
Yeah. Yo, shout out 84 Wicked. Our day's going good. All right, let motherfuckers know where to find motherfuckers.
Yo, it's Idol. You can find me on Facebook, everything Idol on all streaming platforms. You can find me at Idolverse on Twitch and everything. Be on the lookout. My computer is almost built. I will be setting it up this week. You will probably see me in a new setting, hopefully by next week. So, chill, holla.
Yo, it's your boy Thaddeus, aka Black Juice, aka Black Hole.
Yeah.
AKA, I don't believe Idol has a computer because I've never seen it before.
But once I'm on it, then you will have the observable proof you need.
No, because all I'll see is you. I won't see the computer.
Yeah, but fucking turn the camera around.
AKA the black hole.
Well,
like you.
Nah, I think he needs that. He need that. All the light around this nigga go away. Like fuck, listen to him.
Black ass nigga.
He's just not very warm.
I honestly.
I just realized what Will said, you fucking asshole. All the light around him.
That's what I said.
We argue about the black hole argument was honestly one of the things I wanted to end early. Like it was like, yo, niggas, none of us know what the fuck. Like.
I started the whole conversation by saying I read one page in a book, and here's something. And then
I was like, oh. Wait a second.
Hold on, it did not go down like that.
Pretty much.
He literally said, yo, I'm not going to say I'm an expert, but, and then he made a joke out of it. He's like, so I read one page out of this book, and I feel like I learned that, da-da-da-da. It was just him reading the one page and was curious about that shit and letting us know he was curious to find out more. And then we just went, wait a second, black holes have to exist. It's like, and I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck black holes come from?
Y'all niggas' memory is short as fuck. Yo, you remember it started off with like, Idol, you were talking about atoms.
Yeah, the atomists.
In his
book,
and then it rolled into the whole black hole thing.
I said I don't have this for concrete proof.
But
I said that multiple times.
Yeah, I'm not.
This nigga's spilling his shit all over the place.
Yo,
pay attention. I get it.
This nigga poured that like it was water. Champagne, nigga.
Just where spills the rosé on his fucking arugula salad. Arugula's too peppery, you fucking bougie ass nigga. Arugula's too peppery.
Yo, this nigga's going after my leafy greens, yo.
Yo, I'm telling you.
I can't even eat leafy greens without this nigga fucking coming at me.
I didn't see them, so they were romaine, nigga. They were romaine.
Nigga, what did you have?
I didn't see
what did you have for dressing? What did you have for dressing?
Whatever it was is just a theory.
Vinaigrette.
Nigga, if you could eat arugula with
I
vinaigrette,
theoretically had a fucking vinaigrette.
It's
not proven.
If you enjoy arugula with just vinaigrette, nigga, you eat
I
ass.
had bacon bits and strawberries and all that shit.
Yeah, strawberries.
If you eat arugula with vinaigrette, you probably are never stepping foot in Forest Lawn because that is some bougie ass shit.
Yeah. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm the bougiest, ghettoest person you'll ever meet.
No, it's good to be bougie, man. I like doing that.
But yo,
where can I find you though, Will? Because my food's ready.
Literally, you'll find me eating fucking filet mignon in the fucking projects. That's what you'll find me.
Filet mignon.
You'll find me eating ribs wherever it's free. You'll also find me at Willuminati with a 1. So Linktree/Willuminati. All streaming platforms is Willuminati. If you want to get at me, you can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Idolverse.
Yeah.
When he starts posting again, we're going to be there. And Idol's Twitch is popping up soon. So you'll see me on that motherfucker Twitch with a whole lot of ass and titties and Raiders behind me. Look at this. Look at my.
It's glorious.
It's glorious. Thaddeus, where can they find your arugula eating ass? Your ass.
I told you.
He already said.
In the projects, eating arugula and filet mignon.
That's your wife's name?
On a stoop.
I didn't know your wife's arugula. That's Haitian.